This is Sports Chat with Nat.
Okay, I didn't hear my intro. I hit the button. Okay, it said my video played, but I didn't hear it. But anyway, I'm moving on. Listen, this is Sports Chat with Nat. We're trying something new. Oh, Master T is saving lives. Okay, so it's been suggested. Replay watchers, thank you. Hang on, let me tell you what I'm doing. Doing something new. I'm doing a recap of day one, round one, day one NBA playoffs. We're going to try something new. I watched the games. Well, most of them. I missed the massacre of the Pacers and the Bucks, most of it. But I tried to watch the games. I got notes of certain things that I saw with my own two eyes. I was watching intensely so that I could try to recap what I saw. And I'm going to give you some stats, some scores, and some highlights and the schedule for tomorrow. And we're going to try to see what we can do. All right? And we're going to go back and she's going to put some clips, some pictures or something with it. We're going to see what we can do, something new. So anyway, the games started off with the Pacers and the Bucks. When I tell you, the Pacers beat the socks off the Bucks. It's a basketball team. This is not a individual sport, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Doc Rivers. Listen, Giannis had 36 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 of the 5 starters had 0. Prince and Guzman. Lopez had 9 points and 4 rebounds. How you 7'2" and got 4 rebounds and 9? I'm telling you, they were terrible. And Rollins had 5 points, 2 rebounds. Now the bench riders, Trent Jr. had 14 points. Porter had 12. Green had 15. Okay, they had 98. Indiana had 117. Now, Indiana led by as much as 28 at one point. They had 28 assists. I'm telling you, the Bucks only had 15 assists. Now, the rest of the team, now I just told you Giannis had 36 points. The rest of the team was 5 of 20. Giannis was 14 of 23. Now, he was a beast. He was truly the Greek freak today. But the rest of the team was 5 of 20 for 25%. Now, Damian Lillard on the sideline talking trash in street clothes, looking like Heathcliff Huxtables from the Cosbys with that sweater on. That's the first thing came to my mind. I'm sorry. But he's expected to play in game 2. Now, Doc, when they hired Doc a couple of years ago, I said it was a mistake. Because I don't think Doc adjusts well. There's no reason. The score was 67-43 at the half. And Doc looked like he didn't know what to do. They shut down everybody but Giannis. You didn't see that? He shot 14 of 23. Doc Rivers, you mean to tell me you couldn't come up with a plan? And then they came out. No, that's another game. Let me stay focused. They, and I wrote down in my notes, 1 versus 5 never wins. And Giannis versus the Pacers team, which they scored, every one of their starters scored. Pascal Siakam had 25. Miles Turner had 19. Nembhard had 17. And Haliburton had 10. TJ McConnell had 11. number 00. What's his name? How you say his name? Mathurin had 13. Bryant had 6. Toppin had 6. Naismith had 7. Everybody scored. Everybody scored. Everybody had a rebound except Furby. He was only in the game 1 minute. So everybody was contributing. But the Bucks, 1, 2, 3, 4 people had 0 points. One of them played 10 minutes, and one played 22 minutes, and the other one played 20. I'm telling you, Doc, you got to regroup. Now, in the second game, that final score was 117-98. Now, in the second game, the Pistons and the Knicks, listen, that game, now I did watch that game. Let me get to my notes. That game, the number 6 Detroit Pistons and the number 3 New York Knicks, that game started out. They shut down the number 1 pick, Tad Cunningham. They shut him down. So, the game started out, and it was pretty close, to be honest. It was, for a while. Matter of fact, at the end of the first quarter, the score was tied at 27. So I was like, oh, we got a good game here. At the end of the first half, the score was 57. It was a 2-point difference because they outscored them by 2. So, yeah. But then, in the third quarter, the Pistons outscored the Knicks by 10. But in the fourth quarter, Detroit got sloppy. They had turnovers. Let me get to these stats to tell you how many turnovers they had. But every morning, this is what he has pop up on his phone. That you are the best player in the world. Well, he won't today, okay? The Knicks jumped out to an early lead. But then, like I said, it was tied at the end of the first quarter. Turnovers. The Pistons had 21 turnovers. I wrote down sloppy, unnecessary fouls, and the defense was terrible. They was jumping. Listen, you can't play defense running down beside somebody. I done said it 1,000 times. Defensive stance is a stance. It's not running down beside somebody. It's just terrible. Now, the Knicks shot 52%, 52.7 from the field, and the Pistons were 47.7. 3 points, 3-pointers, 46.9 for the Pistons, 38.5 for the Knicks. Blocks were tied at 9. I told you the turnovers. Points in the paint. Let me whisper this. They say if you whisper, people will listen. Points in the paint. New York Knicks 62. The Pistons 46. The Knicks went on a 21-point run in the fourth quarter. They ate them up in the fourth. The Pistons that stood around looking shell-shocked. They led by 19 points early in the third quarter. And when they went on that 21-point run, the Pistons couldn't buy a basket. They could not buy a basket in the fourth quarter. The Knicks scored 40 points, and the Pistons scored 21 points. Final score 121-112. Moral of that story is Detroit, slow down, take care of the basketball, okay? 21 turnovers is ridiculous in the playoffs. This is not the play-in. This is the playoffs. You had 21 turnovers. Points off turnovers. Although y'all made 25 points off of y'all turnovers, still, that's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And they had 3 techs. That's why I said unnecessary fouls. Ridiculous. 3 techs for what? For what? Final score, 121-112. Listen, Spike Lee was going crazy. Tracy Morgan, Ben Stiller, all the superstars were at the game. Russell Wilson. I miss you, Russell. I miss you, Russell Wilson. But anyway, Russell was at the game. Final score, Knicks 121, Detroit 112. Now, the next game was Denver at the Clippers. Let me tell y'all something. If you missed that game, go back to the NBA, I believe NBA.com, NBA TV. You might can catch the replay, but look for the replay. Come on, camera. I'm still here. When Kawhi Leonard is healthy, most of the time, his team will go to the finals. And they win. He is amazing when he's healthy. Now, I already said the other day, I gave my predictions, and I said the Clippers would beat the Nuggets in the series. Okay? Now, the Nuggets may have won today, but I do believe that the Clippers will win the series. But now, let me give you my notes. I was so into this game. Now, I told y'all I'm trying something new. The Clippers shot 47% field goal. 47. Let me go to the stats here. This is what I wrote. And 34.8% from threes. Yeah. All right, so listen. Now, the final, that was at some point in the game, but the final was they shot 50% from the field and 36.4% from the three. Listen, that game, was so good. Now, with 33 seconds left in the game, Kawhi Leonard, I don't know what he was thinking, but Jamal Murray just walked right up, tipped the ball out of his hand, and they scored. Now, Russell Wilson, he dribbled for a second. So I said 10 seconds. 10 seconds went off the clock. Russell Westbrook was wide open in the corner, standing over there waving like, hey, do whatever you're going to do, but I'm over here. He hit that three. All net. All right. And I wrote down right in the heat of the game, you will win or lose the game with what Russell Westbrook. That is such a tongue twister. But anyway, he is still a first ballot Hall of Famer. He is still the all-time leader in triple doubles. Now, Jokic missed 2 free throws with 1 minute and 24 seconds left in that game. Now, at 18.7 seconds, that game was tied at 98. People, when I tell y'all that game was so good, James Harden went in the lane and hit a floater right over Nikola Jokic like he was 4'5". He just went over Jokic like he wasn't even there. It was gorgeous. All right, so listen, that game was tied 6 times. The lead changed 11 times. No timeouts were left. It was an inbound pass from Murray to Jokic to Westbrook. No shot off. Overtime. Overtime opened up with a slam dunk by Aaron Gordon. The pass came from James Harden. It was gorgeous. It was just beautiful. I just knew the Clippers was going to win this game. I just knew they was going to win the game, but that didn't happen. Now, Westbrook was playing for the Clippers last year during the playoffs. Just a little side note. Now, Chris Braun of Denver hit a big three with 59.5 seconds left. Made it 108-104. That's kind of when I knew Denver was going to win this particular game. I don't believe, again, that Denver will win the series, but at that moment, I knew they would win this game. James Harden hit a three. They pulled within one, but then power foul Aaron Gordon. Score was 109-107. Westbrook, this was beautiful. Westbrook tipped the ball on the inbound pass off of Harden. Mind you, he played with the Clippers last year. And then they made a couple of runs. Then the score was 112-107. Then Jokic had got hit in the nose. He got right up, kept playing, plugged his nose, kept rolling. And it was 112-110. And the Nuggets, this was their 8th 15-point comeback since 2019. They lead their series 1-0. Now, they had 11 steals. The Nuggets did. 11 steals, but the Clippers had 6 blocks. But turnovers. Now, here's where Westbrook will hurt you. Now, all of the turnovers weren't him, but the Clippers did have 20 turnovers. I told you, Westbrook walked right up and tipped the ball right out of Harden's hands. So that was a turnover. So they were creating, Denver was creating turnovers. It was an amazing game. Final score, Denver 112, Clippers 110. I do believe the Clippers will win that series. Next game, the Los Angeles Lakers and the Timberwolves. That was the final game of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, because I already told you about the Knicks and the the Knicks and the Pistons. And so now we had the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Now, the Timberwolves are number 6. The Lakers are number 3. So they the underdogs. Anthony Edwards, I found out during the post-game interview, he sent a text to the team. It may not be me scoring 30, but by any means necessary. So that being said, right. That being said, like I'm supposed to believe that's really Anthony Edwards listening to me talking, really? Okay. I was going to do the team stats. They shot 51% from the field. It was, listen, they were, the Lakers came out. They started off all fast. They started off all fast, fades right out. LeBron ain't had no points in the first quarter. He had 10 points in the second quarter. He was 4 of 10, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. Austin Reeves ain't have but 2 points. The Timberwolves, Naz Reeves came off the bench with 19 points. Now, they led by 11 at the half, 59-48. Donte DiVincenzo hit how many? Let me go back to play-by-play so I can tell you how many feet that was. Play-by-play, that was second quarter. It was a 30-foot three-pointer. A 30-foot three-pointer by Donte DiVincenzo in the half, and they led by 11, 59-48. Now the bench of Minnesota outscored the Lakers bench 43-10. All right. Now they were 11 of 22. Let me go back. Let me make sure I tell you right. I believe they were 11 of 22 from their three. At that point when I wrote this down, but they were 21 of 42 today. Well, that must have been him. Let me go to box scores. That couldn't have been him. DiVincenzo. Now he was 4 of 9 from 3. Naz Reid was 8 of 12. Wow, they were killing it. Naz was killing it. Naz had 23. He got knocked in the head. He laid there for a minute. They went on down and kept going. They came back and got him, went over, patted him on the head, and he got on back. Anthony Edwards had 22 points. Now, he was 8 of 22. Yeah, 4 of 9 from 3, though. Michael Conley was 2 of 3 from 3. He had 9 points, 3 assists. Now, Jaden McDaniels, Anthony Edwards said he was the MVP of the day. 11 of 13, 3 of 3 from 3, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, only 3 personal fouls for 25 points. Listen to me. 11 of 13. That's 80%. I wrote it down. 80%. It was 80%. First 80% field goal in the playoffs, Jaden McDaniels. I'm just telling you, okay? He was 11 of 13 and 3 of 3 from 3, 9 rebounds. That boy was balling. So now, where did this stat come from? Let me double check this stat. I wrote this stat down, but let me make sure it's accurate. No. At this point, they were 15, or at this point in the game, they were 15 of 26 on threes, 58%. Oh, that was at the 7:55 point of the third quarter. I wrote it down, y'all. I'm telling y'all, this is what I did. And somebody suggested we do this. So we're trying something new. Normally, I go live during the game and go play by play, but we're trying something new. So let me go back. So at the 7:55 point in the third quarter, they were 15 of 26 from 3 for 58%. Now, the commentator said they were hotter than fish grease. The score was 80-54. They were beating the socks off the Lakers. Now, I said, I'm not going to lie. I'm woman enough to say that I said I thought the Lakers would win this series. I also said I thought the Lakers would make it to the finals. I'm just saying. Now, last year, I went back to look before I make this statement. The Timberwolves came out on fire, and they had them first 2 games, and then they lost 3 in a row. They ended up winning the series going on to the finals, the conference finals against Dallas, but they lost. But anyway, moral of the story is I'm not going to get too excited because I don't know. Luka did a lot of that whining a little bit. He had 20 points. LeBron, he had some good plays. He had a couple of moments where he didn't look so good. Now, Anthony, all right, let me 13th playoff with 20 plus points, 5 plus rebounds, and 5 plus assists. Second most in franchise. I'm thinking Kevin Garnett is the other one. But anyway, what else I want to tell you about that game? at the third quarter mark, the score was 80-54. Oh, thank you, Mark. At the 6.27 mark of the third quarter, the Minnesota Timberwolves had as many threes as the Lakers had field goals. Let me say that again. At the 6:27 point of the third quarter, when the score was 80-54, the Timberwolves has as many threes as the Lakers had field goals. I'm just saying. Oh, and also, when he texted his teammates at 10 this morning, he said, trust your work, trust yourself, and by any means necessary, we must win this game. Julius Randle, the trade from the Knicks, who I thought was trash last year. He got hurt, came back in, played real raggedy in the playoffs. They relied so much on Jalen Brunson that he just got wore out. Thibodeau didn't know how to substitute. Players was breathing and panting like dogs. They were just tired. He didn't know what to do. I must admit today, I'm sorry, I got to go back a minute. Today, the Knicks looked really good. They really did. But anyway, moving on. Let me stay focused on this game. I wrote something down here. What the heck did I mean? Oh, look. Okay, this is real funny, y'all. It's funny, but it's a fact. It's a fact, Mark. Let me tell y'all this. I don't know. It was somewhere in the fourth quarter, but Anthony Edwards was holding LeBron like he was a linebacker. And I wrote, he needed a flag, not a foul. I thought that was real funny. But anyway, I mean, he was literally holding LeBron like, wait a minute, you're not going past me. I was like, wait a minute, he looked like a linebacker. But LeBron, he looked forward to the day up against them Timberwolves. They beat the Sox. I forgot to write down at what minute. Let me look at play-by-play. At the minute when J.J. Redick said, okay, I'm done. Let me pull them all out. It's over. It was about 3 minutes or so. It was 3:02. I said it was 3:02. He just said, forget it. I'm done. He took everybody out. He took Doncic out, Hachimura, Austin Reeves. I mean, he took everybody out. It was something. That game was, I expected, I'm not going to lie. I'm woman enough to say it. I thought for sure that, I thought for sure once they lost Towns, that Towns was throwing down at the Knicks. And see, that's how I got back on the Knicks, because they traded Towns for Randle. And I was like, oh, that's going to be a horrible trade. I didn't like it. I didn't like them trading Towns away, but he fit so good with the Knicks. That one pass where he did a no-look pass, oh, it was so beautiful. Oh, you. But anyway, yes, Randle and Karl Anthony Towns, that trade looked like a total bust at first, but today it looked like a masterpiece of business work. I was going to the box scores to tell you Julius Randle was 6 of 11 for 16. I already told you McDaniel was 11 of 13. Gobert was 1 of 2. No threes, 6 rebounds, 2 points. I don't know, but Randle and Edwards have yes, they have a better chemistry than Randle and Brunson. Brunson got this no-nonsense attitude. And I think Randle is a little more, although his comments on the sideline were very mature, very leadership-like, like stay focused. I told y'all we got to stay focused. They're trying to make a run. So he was very much a leader. In New York, Brunson was the clear leader. And maybe that was the issue with Randle, where he was hurt a lot. Yeah, I like Jimmy Butler too. I like Jimmy. And Jimmy and the Warriors gonna be all right. But and I think he gonna change them in the playoffs. But let me make sure I tell y'all everything I'm gonna tell y'all about this. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think I got all that. So anyway, that final score was 117-95. Now, the Lakers. Oh, that's what I was gonna do. LeBron had 19 points. He was 1 of 5 from 3 and 8 of 18 from the field. He played 36 minutes. Doncic played 40 minutes. He had 37 points, 5 of 10 from 3, 12 of 22. But like I said, he missed 2 crucial free throws. Doncic. Wasn't it Doncic, I thought? Missed some free throws. But anyway, no, that must have been another game. Somebody missed some free throws. But anyway, I got so many notes here. Oh, that was Jokic. I'm sorry, wrong game. Duh, wrong game. Okay, final score 117, Lakers 95. Now, I don't know what kind of adjustments JJ Redick gonna make. But Minnesota crank up aggressiveness. Okay. Well, LeBron, listen, LeBron is 40. And 40 catch up with you. I don't care how you try to not let it catch up with you. 40 gonna catch up with you. Just like arthritis and all that catch up with you. I don't care how much you do. It's going to catch up to you. Now, I saw a couple of interviews these last couple of days, and it was before LeBron had went and got his little Beijing, whatever y'all call that stuff. And I could see all the gray right here in his beard. So that's why, and it's funny that I really noticed that. And then today, LeBron kind of played like he was old. I don't do much WWE. I did meet a wrestler, Mafusa, I think is his name. I don't do as much. I may try some for you, Mark. I used to be a big wrestling fan, believe it or not. My dad used to take me to wrestling every Thursday at the Norfolk Arena in Norfolk, Virginia. He would take me out of choir rehearsal to take me to wrestling. Brute Bernard, Johnny Weaver, Anderson Brothers, Wahoo McDaniel, man, Andre the Giant. I was a huge wrestling fan. So I don't really do much of it, but I may do a little something for you. I'll think about it if I can remember. Let me write myself a note, Mark. WWE for Mark. All right, Mark. I'll see what I can do. All right, now tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, Sunday. Now, I don't know if y'all call it Easter. I don't know if y'all call it Resurrection Day, but I'm going to call it Basketball Day after I come from church singing my heart out. At 1 o'clock on ABC. Last year, he was my pick for MVP. This year, I was leaning towards Jokic. But the more I hear the stats for SGA and what he's done for his team and the NBA as far as their record, okay. But anyway, moving on. That game is at 1 o'clock. At 3:30 on ABC, the Orlando Magic played Celtics. The Celtics are defending champs. Now, am I concerned that the Celtics are not the number one seed like they were last year? Do I think the Celtics lack the fire that they need to be repeat champions? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I've seen games where the Celtics, now all of this is off the top of my head, people. I'm not looking at no notes, okay? In my personal opinion, that's what this is, Sports Chat with Nat. The Celtics almost play like they think that they're going to just give the game to them. Now, Jalen Brunson at times has had some very good stats, but then at times he dribbled way too much for me. Now, he's number 5 in NBA scoring right now at 26.8. My team is the Celtics. In honor of my mom was a big Celtics fan. I used to be a Knicks fan growing up, but I'm really a big Steeler fan, not so much basketball as much football. But yeah, the Celtics. So anyway, Jason Tatum, though, is not consistent in the playoffs. That's my problem. He is not consistent. He'll give you 25 one night, 12 the next. He gonna get you some rebounds and he gonna get you some assists. But when he start throwing up them brick threes, and that's the problem with the Celtics. Although they lead the NBA in threes made, they also throw up more threes than anybody else. But when they're not making them, they keep throwing them up and they lose. That's where I have a problem with the Celtics. You ain't making the threes no way. So drive in. That's my problem with the Celtics. And I'm concerned that the Cleveland Cavaliers will beat them in the conference finals. I'm just saying. Now, Jokic, I thought would be MVP in my personal opinion, but I think I'm going to be overruled on that. I heard the commentator say tonight that Anthony Edwards led the threes, most threes. That was a lie. As soon as he said it, I went to the stats. He is not the leader. Steph has made more, and the best percentage is not even Anthony Edwards. The best percentage of those left, let me go to it. threes made. The best percentage was of those left playing. %80 from the field. But listen, so Celtics, yes, choke artists, yes. They blow the biggest leads ever. That's why I don't trust the Celtics. I'm surprised they won last year. Although last year they act like they had the dog fight in them. This year they don't act like they got the dog fight. This year the Cleveland Cavaliers, and by the way, their coach won Coach of the Year because they did have the best record. Now, what some of y'all don't realize is this. Last year, the coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers was J.B. Bickerstaff, the coach of the Pistons right now. So I'm going to say like they said about Mike Tomlin. That's Bickerstaff team that he kind of built. And Homeboy went in there and got that team, and they came up with the best record. Although Cleveland was really good last year, they gave Boston a run for their money. Now, moving on. The rest of the schedule for tomorrow, before I get too sidetracked. The Heat and the Cavaliers. Now, since the Heat done dumped Jimmy Butler, and who's that said they like Jimmy Butler? Somebody said they like Jimmy Butler. Let me go back. That was, I don't know how to say your name, but anyway, I like playoff Jimmy Butler. Now, but the Heat looked like a different team since they got rid of that. He was being toxic in Miami in them last days. He was being a little toxic. But anyway, he happy now over at the Warriors. And for the first time in Steph Curry's career, he had 35 points, but he wasn't the leading scorer. Jimmy Butler had 38 points. So that felt good for Steph not to have all the weight on his shoulders. So the Cavaliers play the Heat at 7 on TNT. And then at 9:30, playoff Butler and Steph Curry and the Warriors play the red-hot Houston Rockets. And that's on TNT. Now, the Rockets are coached by Duco, the former coach of the Boston Celtics, who got fired for sleeping with the lady, the wife of the executive, and he was Neil Long's boyfriend. Okay, so just so you know, and he had words with LeBron. I don't know what the words were. I ain't been able to find them words, but anyway, that's him. Him and the Rockets play the Warriors. Now, the Rockets are number 2, and the Warriors, I believe, came in at number, 7. Yeah, I was right. They came in at number 7. However, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, who has matured a little bit, and he said that he has learned to play the game more mental than physical. I guess so, you're getting old. But anyway, so Houston, it will be a good game, but I do believe the Warriors' experience will win that tournament. They will win that. All right, so that game is at 9:30 on TNT. So I'm going to see how the views go. I know this is late, but I'm not going to promise I'm going to call any of these games tomorrow. I will see how my throat feels. It's a little scratchy now. I do have to sing in the morning. But anyway, that's one of the reasons I didn't call all them games either, because I couldn't do that to my throat. I had to do some vocal rest, okay? Plus, I film on Monday, Country Wayne Skits. If you don't know, I'm Mama Nat on Country Wayne Skits, and I film on Monday. So I have to govern my instrument accordingly. But thank you guys so much for watching. This was the first edition of Round 1, Day 1, NBA Playoff Highlights. We're going to try this in Round 1. Yes, I am going to rest. We're going to try this in Round 1 to see how the viewership goes, because we're trying to, thank you, new followers, thank you. We picked up a couple last week, so thank you so much. Be blessed. I will see you guys tomorrow night with a highlight of Day 2. Peace. Thank you. Have a great evening.